All right, let's get right into it here. Market is down about 0.6%. On the S&P, it was down a lot more, but looks like market made a little bit of climb there towards the end of the day. Pretty much all day after the first hour down gap came down, midterm, and then we grinded back up, which we'll talk about throughout in this presentation. Nasdaq is down, semiconductor also 2000. The biotech got hit here, 3.4% negative. All these tech stocks are down, along Tesla's down 4.9%. I think it's gonna make a lot of Tesla fanboys to be upset about this. Meta is up. Only thing up today looks like Bitcoin's down. Right is down. Monster is down. CLSK is down. Coin is down. These guys are all down. Gold, silver continues to make a run here. Treasury bond down. VIX popped about 7%. Let's stick with S&P 500 ETF. Spider. 65-minute chart. Here, so this is where we closed yesterday, and we looks like we saw a pretty sizable down gap this morning here. As you can see, this is where we closed right on the micro term, and then we gapped down here. And in that process, what happened was we broke below previous swing low and below my short-term moving average. The green moving average there came down the first hour. We continued selling. However, my midterm moving average was in that vicinity.
Perfect.
As you can see, I'm going to zoom out and you'll see the midterm moving average does carry an impressive resume. So as you can see, that midterm going all the way back to middle of February. The midterm is very strong supporter of the bulls here.
Perfect.
You can see every time when we hit that midterm moving average, it has not failed to produce a bullish up gap next day, as you can see right there. That's midterm. Right, that's a midterm. And then next day, we gapped up. Right, that's mid-February. Coming here to March, mid-March, a month or so. Coming over to mid-March here, that's a midterm. You see the dotted blue? See right there, it's been retesting that midterm quite some time during mid-March. Next day, we gapped up, came down, retest the short term, and market continued. Trade upside. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with the same midterm. We're dealing with the same midterm that has been supporting the buyers the last 2 months. Can see this is a sizable down gap. Not only that, when it gapped down, there was an up gap, right? From the 27th of March. Remember, on that day, this is where we closed. That's where we open. So there's a gap. Even though you don't physically see the gap, if you go to like a 30-minute chart, you probably could see it. But there is definitely an up gap, right? So there was up gap right here. We gapped down below it. So this portion, the purple or the pink box, that represents island down gap. Where we closed yesterday, where it opened. So we see an island down gap, which is a strong down gap here, and broke below the short term. What happened was midterm was right there. Remember the midterm? It carries an impressive resume, and it doesn't disappoint. As you can see, first hour, second hour, third hour, fourth hour, fifth hour, sixth hour, we broke above the short term. We also broke slightly above this recent swing high here. So that's the pivot. We actually closed above it. And so if this time isn't different, because mid-April, you see a sizable up gap. We see mid-March, decent size up gap. If we do see a up gap somewhere here, right? It'll be better if they gap this up above 522.20, then bulls can turn the entirety of this thing as an island up gap.
America, fuck yeah!
But just by gapping up above this purple or the green box here, bulls, and it's better for the bulls if they can gap it above the microterm, so that microterm don't act as a resistance. If they gap it up above this pink box here, this thing is going to turn back to island up gap. That will be a counter attack from the bulls. When island down gap becomes island up gap next day, that island up gap is that much stronger. So that this is what we're dealing with here. What bulls need to do, bulls need to dodge a down gap tomorrow morning, because bulls found support right on the midterm, broke above the short term. Bulls also broke above the recent swing high here, 518. So all the momentum is there, right? Bears are kind of getting pressured here because we didn't see a follow through after this down gap. So if we do not see a continuation to the upside tomorrow, and if this island down gap remains, and we see a down gap tomorrow morning, we see a flush. I think if that does happen tomorrow morning, if the midterm is broken, I would expect 514, possibly 511 in the next 1 or 2 days.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Because if you allow the bears to make the secondary attack after this size of a down gap and the island down gap still remaining, and after bulls made a little bit of move, because I think the bears, what they're thinking is this is a bear flag, which is possible. Again, any sort of flagging pattern needs a follow through, right? What bears are looking at this is a bear flag, right? Down, bear flag, and another down. That's a possibility. We're just right on that, island down gap, which could act as a result. It's very, very important how this market opens up and how it trades in the couple hours tomorrow morning. Check out that oscillator. So as I look at that oscillator here, we can see that oscillator has entered the overbought zone. Yes. Has not fully crossed the up yet though. Remember, last time we saw a downturn, this thing also came down as a down gap. Right on that microterm. That's crazy. We're just repeating things now. See? Microterm. Right on the microterm, right on that microterm, we see a down gap. You go here, microterm, right on the microterm, we see a down gap. And then what happened? Market continues to wear the midterm moving average. Market continues to wear midterm moving average.
Perfect.
Oscillator hitting the oversold zone. So that's what I'm saying. If we do see a up gap tomorrow morning, we could potentially expect 2 to 3 days upturn until this oscillator gap back to the top of its band. And bears are scared for this, because that's what's been happening the entire last 5 months. Any sort of 1 to 2 days decline has been met with the reversal very, very quickly. So if that is gonna continue, Bulls are looking to gap it up or at least to fill this down gap from this morning. And bulls want to make sure this midterm is protected. If bulls can do that, I think bulls can find a way to make a move. But we see a down gap tomorrow morning and break below the midterm here, 516.90. We're expecting 514 and 511. I'm gonna come back for you. We'll reassess the situation. Enjoy your evening. We'll train tomorrow.